Glenn Beck is going to explain to you how, number one, he proved that God is real. It's okay, everybody, sit down. Glenn Beck is going to, of course, collect his Nobel Peace Prize or his award in science or whatever. I mean, well, if a guy actually proved that God is real, that guy would immediately be the most famous person overnight. Oh my God, it's over, it's proven. He's got this theorem, he's got some evidence or whatever. So he proved God is real. He knows it. He's going to discuss that. And also, he's going to say you can't fuck with him because he's just like Mandela.
Someday I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about a full-fledged miracle that happened, that I can tell you that God exists. Pat, you know what I'm talking about that happened last week to me?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other explanation other than God?
No.
No other explanation. I know God lives. I know God is involved in my life just as much as he is in your life. You know, you might deny it. But I'm telling you, because I know he lives, you will have to imprison me. You want me to shut up? I won't shut up. You know, I really think one reason why the Obama administration has generally left us alone since we left Fox. Now, maybe it's because we're irrelevant. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Number one book in BookScan yesterday. Of course, number two, New York Times bestseller. Of course, number two. Number one in the actual scan. Number two, New York Times bestseller. Maybe we're completely irrelevant. I have another opinion. These people know who Martin Luther King is. They know who Dietrich Bonhoeffer is. And they know you screw with somebody who is willing to die for what they believe in is not going to shut up. Go ahead. You know who Nelson Mandela is. Imprison me. Go ahead. Imprison me. I will not sit down. I will not shut up. I won't. I will not conform. I will not comply. Period. I think that's why they leave us generally alone lately.
No, it's because you're irrelevant. You had it right at the beginning. 100%. You have to understand something. We did a story recently. It was based off of a great article. There were a few. One was from Media Matters. They did an investigative report into Rush Limbaugh's ratings and where they get their funds from. There was another one in Politico about this. And the right-wing media empire, it's all a facade, especially Glenn Beck. Okay, see, with Glenn Beck, first of all, he's not even on that many cable providers. And even with the ones that he's on, his ratings are abysmal, man. And so where does he get all his money from? Okay, he gets it from the right-wing think tanks, whether it's Americans for Prosperity or the American Enterprise Institute, and they all flip back and forth. Heritage Foundation, they go back and forth between these different ones. So what happens is these guys gave them a big contract, okay? They gave them millions and millions and millions of dollars to set up the network, pay everybody, et cetera, et cetera. And they were expecting a return on investment because the idea was, well, these guys are, Glenn Beck, a big name at Fox News when he was there. We're going to make a lot of money, right? We got to make a lot of money. So give him whatever he wants and we'll see how it works out. Massive flop. So as the article said, they gave him millions. He was only able to return about $500,000. So that's all the revenue that they got back. Okay. Now, they say in the article that doesn't even equal 30% of what the broker cost to set up the deal with Glenn Beck and the Blaze Network in the first place. So not only are they in the red, they're more than 100% in the red. It was a massive loss for Glenn Beck and the Blaze, and an even worse loss for Limbaugh. Limbaugh's even worse. Limbaugh is getting beat by college radio stations all around the country right now, okay? And his signal is better than the college radio stations, only have a few mile radius. It's ridiculous how bad they are. And to the book numbers, he goes, oh yeah, well, my book is number one and number two on the New York Times bestseller list. You know what the trick is that they do there? All the right-wing think tanks, they buy the books in bulk, and then they send them out in gift packages to people that they have to mail stuff to. It's all a scam. It's the same thing for Sarah Palin's book, the same thing for Mark Levin's book. All the different right-wing think tanks, buy them in bulk, send them out in packages. Nobody fucking cares about what you have to say, dude. You're irrelevant. And then let's get to the best parts, man. It took me too long to get to this in the first place. You're going to compare yourself to Martin Luther King Jr. and to Nelson Mandela. People who are civil rights icons and leaders who fought for freedom and fought for justice and fought for equality and suffered. Martin Luther King Jr. went to jail multiple times, died young. Okay, Nelson Mandela, what a tremendous hero he is fighting to end apartheid. Dude, you're a fucking small-time radio host who runs your mouth. By the way, no offense, just like I do. I'm not pretending. But here's the thing. You are pretending like you're more than that. You're not more than that. All right? You're a right-wing douchebag with a loud mouth. You're a guy with an opinion and a microphone and a gigantic ego. Stop comparing yourself to all-time historical greats. You're a joke. What are you? What are you? You're a guy who sits there and argues for, lower taxes, lower my taxes, invade more countries. This guy was a fucking cheerleader for the war in Iraq. Oh yeah, what a great guy you are. Arguing for a war with a country that didn't attack us, which led to over 100,000 innocent people being killed, not to mention about 5,000 of our own soldiers dying. I mean, who are you? You're a guy who's a right-wing ideologue who just spews opinions. Stop comparing yourself to greats. But it shows you the inflated ego that they have. I mean, it really goes back to the old tried-and-true belief that if you actually think you're great, you don't need to say it. You don't need to say it. Now, earlier today, I was bragging about how much the show is expanding here, so I guess I'm kind of guilty of that as well. But he takes it way over the top. It's not just like, hey, look at our ratings, and he can't brag about his ratings because they suck, but he's like, oh, God, I'm like MLK, I'm like Mandela. They're going to come lock me up. Nobody's coming to lock you up because nobody's even listening to you. Okay, and then the God part is the best. And his little yes men there are my favorite. That's their job, is to just say yes to whatever Glenn says. Oh, let me tell you, God proved himself to me last week. It was on Thursday, right after I took a shit and right before I ate the banana. I was watching X Factor, and God had something to say to me right before he had to shoot off to go to work on who's going to win the NBA playoffs. Glenn, you didn't prove anything. God didn't say shit to you. Could it have been anything else, guys? Could it have been anything else other than God? Oh, no, of course not. Oh, no way. You're right, Glenn. You're so right about everything ever. God, we love you so much. Keep signing our paychecks, please.